Welcome back to World Traveler Cooking, the cooking channel where we cover cuisines and interesting foods from around the world. Today, move over pineapple, bananas on pizza. In Sweden, actually, people do put bananas on their pizzas. You may have seen this in Facebook memes, etc., but it's actually quite true. I have been to Sweden and I never got the courage to order a banana pizza, so we're going to make one here today. Now, the particular combination that the Swedes use are bananas, and I got some Cavendish for this because I figured I want to use what people would use in Sweden, which are going to be your standard Cavendish bananas. Typically we will use some pizza sauce. This is real simple. It's just saute some onions in olive oil, add some basil and tomato puree, cook for a bit, and you have your pizza sauce. Real simple. Swedes might add a little bit of oregano to it, but whatever. We then have our pizza dough. We have some shredded cheese of the type you would typically put on pizzas. This one is sort of a Australian mozzarella, which is going to be very similar to an American mozzarella. In Sweden, I'm not quite sure which cheese mixtures they use. It might be a mixture of Emmentaler and some other things. But it should be relatively similar. So then on top of that, we will put ham, bananas, and curry powder. This is an unusual combination, and it has sort of become Sweden's national pizza. So, yeah, let's go ahead and, and of course we have our pizza dough. I have a separate video on the pizza dough. Since I'm making a few different videos for this series, I figured break the pizza dough off. That way you can learn it once, and typically you need to make your pizza dough on a different stage anyway. So sorry for the noise out in the background. This construction is being a pain. So I'm going to take my dough ball, put it on a floured work surface, make sure it's nicely dusted with flour, and I'm going to start stretching. This is really stretchy dough, so far this seems good. I may end up using a rolling pin here. I think I'm going to. You can do it kind of either into a rectangular or a circular shape. And once it's nice and pretty thin, note I have been preheating my oven. Now it's time to start. If you want a more circular shape, you can just basically go around the edges and let it hang pull like this. And see, we get a nice circular shape here. So, next up we assemble our pizza. Okay. So, basically just take a little bit of sauce, spread it around very lightly with the spoon. Definitely don't want to over sauce things. So the next topping to go on is the ham. And don't need too much of it, but you do want some. I'm just going to put 4 pieces on for now. I think that's probably fine. Put thin slices of banana around it. And in Sweden, yes, they do use standard fruit banana Cavendishes for this dish. And finally, we're going to dust this off with some curry powder. So this is just entirely to taste. You can add as much or as little as you like. I think this needs a little more. There we go. And now this will go in the oven as hot as possible for about 10 minutes. And I'm actually running both top and bottom elements. And so here we have the pizza out of the oven. I'm going to let it cool for a couple minutes, and then I will do a taste test. Maybe the oven isn't quite hot enough, but I think people are generally going to have that problem because pizza ovens are really, really hot. So, yeah, so far this looks good. So, in Swedish tradition, I am just going to use kitchen shears to cut a piece of this pizza off for a taste test. It's still a bit hotter than I want to eat. But it smells very nice. Can't believe I've never tried one of these when I was in Sweden. So, I'll be back in a few moments with the taste test. And now for the taste test. Now, of course, Europeans usually eat their pizzas with a knife and fork. I'm not going to do this for the taste test here, because then I'd have to put the whole pizza on my plate. I'm, however, going to start by tasting the crust, since I want to see how this crust turned out. The crust is surprisingly good. Definitely needed more heat, but given what I can do with my home oven, it's pretty good. Now I'm going to taste a bit of the banana and ham and everything together. So this is totally unexpected. The banana does add some sweetness, which maybe some people would object to, but when you mix sort of the banana in with the ham, you get a really rich flavor. The banana adds a lot more richness than it does sweetness, and as a result, you have a really special combination here. I was quite doubtful when I tried this when I looked at trying this at first, and I never got the courage to try it in Sweden. But now that I've made it here, it's actually really delicious. So, if you find this content interesting, you'd like to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have anything to say about this video, please let me know in the comments. This is filmed for our 700 subscriber mark. So, yeah, thanks all for subscribing. Recipes in the description, bon appetit, and see you next week.